And
I
we
need to
are
put my
live.
multi-cam cap on so we can be Twinkies.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta be in operator status, man. That's just how we roll. But all right, everyone, welcome. We appreciate you guys watching. And first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna do some introductions. And I pretty much decided to, do this event just because a lot of guys been asking me about this question, and a lot of guys been asking me about this sergeant that supposedly was either captured by the Taliban, or you guys got the video on? Oh yeah, yeah. We gotta be in operator status, man. That's just
Yeah,
how we
not
roll.
me.
Everyone, welcome.
I know.
All right, everyone, welcome. We appreciate you guys watching. And first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna do some introductions. And I pretty much decided to do this
Yeah,
this
that's
event just because.
I don't even have it up except just
No.
what we have live.
Maybe it's a microphone. What about now?
Sounds good now.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Sounds good now? It's probably the microphone. This cool operator status headphone doesn't really work that well, I guess. Yeah, but a lot of guys been asking me about this sergeant, and either if it's a traitor or if it's actually a hero that got captured. So I decided to do just a quick event here. We're gonna talk about some things. You guys are welcome to put comments if you guys got any questions. You guys probably know I spent about 12 months in Afghanistan, which it wasn't too much fun, but I was there for a full year. So if you guys got any questions, go ahead and put it in the comment. And we got Dan for the Firearm Guy channel, and Brian. Dan, you want to do your introduction?
Sure, I'm Dan from the Firearm Guy channel. Primarily do gun reviews, talk about current issues, and do a lot of penetration tests, and having a blast doing it. And I'm still taking suggestions for the penetration tests. I absolutely love that, and a lot of these are coming from the viewers, and I'm having a blast doing it.
Yeah, that's definitely. I definitely enjoy those videos as well. What about you, Brian? I saw that you put a couple of videos out, which was
That's a little odd for me. I mean, I'm Brian. I'm with Worldwide Witchcraft and Survival. And back in the day, I used to actually make videos all the time, and then I got sick of the trolls, and I deleted half of them. And every once in a while, I'll get a wild hair and go ahead and make another video. But my wife and I have been talking about maybe I need to get started doing it again. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
This
You
last time
actually had trolls?
Do what?
You actually had trolls following you? Because, I mean, you're such a nice guy, man. I don't see anybody trolling you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it just got so overwhelming, and I was actually responding to them, and it was actually kind of fun. And for a while there, then it just kind of got old. Then I got just kind of burned out on it, and I don't know.
I gotta do one of those videos just like you did. You shooting the troll. A video you got. That's pretty cool. That's probably a good idea for you, Dan. Get a troll and see how good it would penetrate.
Hey, if it's a range test, I'll do it.
Yeah. So, all right. So pretty much the deal with this guy, and I went down into a couple of different web pages here on the internet, and we all know that it's kind of difficult to find out the real information because a lot of different channels are reporting a lot of different things. Like the New York Times is reporting something, CNN reports something else. But pretty much, I guess the investigation that is being done right now is either the guy escaped or not. And are you guys familiar with the case in general?
Yeah.
All right. So pretty much, I guess the biggest thing it would be if the guy actually deserted his post and actually went and joined the Taliban, or did he actually got captured by people and actually was taken to a location. So that's going to be the biggest case. And one of the things that I got asked a couple of days ago was how do I feel about it, and I'm just going to say how I feel about it just straight up from the beginning. I feel that we should have brought him home, definitely. I definitely don't feel that we should have gave 5 different terrorists high-value targets to change this guy for this guy. I think that we could have found a better way to do it, but definitely we have the responsibility to bring him home. and he definitely has the right to have some type of investigation. And like I told this guy that I was talking to, he needs to be an investigation got to be done, and he needs to be judged on that. You know, in American, everybody's innocent into proven guilty. So that doesn't mean, and I kind of went back and forward. That doesn't mean that I think he's guilty or not. I think he's guilty probably because I don't see people going inside the base to kidnap him and taking him to a location. I think the possibilities that he left the post is extremely high, and I think that's probably what he did. But nevertheless, I think that an investigation got to be done, and he has to be trial. I mean, that's how it is. That's how our laws are implemented, and every man is innocent into proving guilty. So, what do you guys think about that?
Well, the one thing I think any investigation they do is going to be biased because this president's going to make sure that whatever comes out is into his favor. The part that bothers me the most is that the people that served with him said that he was a sympathizer of the Afghan army and the Taliban, and he didn't like the way they were being treated, which is bothersome because that's why they're there. How can you sympathize with them?
Yeah.
Well, other people were put at risk trying to go find him, and so when you listen to the soldiers who he served with, they don't like him, and that bothers me.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Dan. And one of the things that a lot of people are reporting that, well, you know, he's an American, how he wants to go there and fight those guys. Well, if you read, I think it was the New York Times, and I put the links in the description box. We just had a guy named McCain, 33 years old, that is the first American that died fighting with ISIS. Like, this guy went to Syria and just got killed fighting with these guys, alone with these guys. So there's a lot of Americans that go up there and fight against us. So just the fact that you're an American citizen doesn't mean anything. These people join this radical groups just as anybody else. So,
well, I think the one thing that makes it different is that if they're an American, they do get Miranda rights, and they do get to be tried in an American court.
It's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah. And that's what, go ahead, Brian.
I'm kind of on two minds of this. I mean, because there's a part of me that I can see his his people who was in his platoon who were really kind of against him and speaking out, and I can respect what they're saying, and I can also respect that his rights as well. But this is kind of like, to me, it's almost like that Ferguson thing. I mean, you're getting one side of the story nonstop, and even though this side of the story might make a whole lot of sense, we still haven't heard from him. So personally, I'm kind of holding my opinion until we hear his side. Having said that, though, I think it's a really bad idea to make deals, any kind of deals with terrorists. I mean, we just had a 26-year-old girl kidnapped today by ISIS, and it's just one of these things that once you start negotiating, any American or any Western person out there is going to be at a higher threat of being kidnapped simply because they think that they might have a little bit more leverage with this administration to get their demands met.
Yeah, and like, you know, I tried to say that I'm not really such a smart guy, but who came out with the idea of giving, you know, how many guys we gave? Like 4 or 5 terrorists, high-value targets, over this guy. Like, you mean to tell me that this is one of the best countries in the world? I mean, we have smart people with doctors and 30 years of experience in this administration, and you cannot come out with a better tactic and plan. We have Navy SEALs. I mean, the best special forces pretty much in the entire world. I mean, it's all the guys are kind of out there too from other countries. But you cannot find a better way to bring this guy back home other than give this guys away. I didn't like that.
I mean, just this whole what's his name?
Well,
No, I'll think of it here in a minute. The new imam for ISIS, Abu Bakr Baghdadi. We had him in custody for, what, 2 years? Let him go, and now look, I mean, everybody in ISIS is following him and taking his lead on everything. I
Well,
mean,
this
you don't
guy's
hear.
yeah, these guys are like heroes when they come back. You know what I'm saying? They fought in the war. They got arrested or apprehended, and then they're going back as just the same way that some of our military members go on fire and come back home and get treated in some cases as like, wow, you guys are heroes and this and that. It's the same concept for them. They're getting treated as heroes out there. And definitely increase the ranking into the leadership positions. So
Yeah, not only that, but they said, many of them said, as soon as they get back there, they're joining the battlefield. So here we are empowering them to increase their manpower by giving them people to get back on the battlefield. That these people could potentially kill Americans that we just handed over to them.
yeah,
And people want to compare Obama and Bush all the time. Bush would have never done this. And I'm with you. I think we should have done everything we can to get him home. But there are some boundaries there.
yeah.
To get this guy home, who really, there was no evidence of him being tortured. To get him home and to give up other people who could potentially kill Americans, that doesn't sit well with. And then when you hear the people that served with him said he was a sympathizer of these Afghans. Okay, he converted over to Islam and everything. Okay, that's his choice or anything. But I think all this kind of plays into it here.
Yep.
This is not a good situation.
And
I try to teach my kids a little bit of limitations and to not always go for instant gratification. But it seems that's how politics is these days. They just looking for this instant gratification that, let's set him free and everybody's going to overlook all the negative side of it, and then not really thinking through about what's the long-term effect going to be. And that's, I don't know, it just seems kind of simple-minded if you ask me, and it's really pretty discouraging.
And I Nick, can you hear us?
Yes, I am.
You want to do your quick intro? You're the famous one in here.
No, you're funny. I'm the smallest channel of everybody here. What are you talking about?
Well, you're the good-looking one, so go ahead and do a quick intro.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just gonna come on and announce that I'm launching my rap career. My rap name is Lil Fatter. So I'm gonna turn my gun channel into a rap channel. That's all I got for you.
All right, man.
Dude, I really think
Here's one thing that I was gonna say, and Dan was talking about it. I'm actually scared that we are never gonna know the truth. We're not gonna know what happened there, and no matter what the media is gonna report, we're not gonna know the truth because there is some things there that probably happened that no one is gonna know, and a lot of guys, when you join the military, you're the first 4 years, you're just a soldier, a Marine, Navy, sailor, whatever you are. That is your 4 years. But when you go into your second enlistment or third enlistment like I was, you become a career Marine, a career soldier. You're not just a basic guy. So those guys are into career that already spent 10, 12, 15 years, coming up to 5 years from retirement. Those guys are going to protect the career. So I'm not saying that they lie, or I wasn't there. But the possibility of what happened wasn't really reported the right way to save people's career is extremely high.
Well,
I don't know if you guys dealt with that in your path in your careers, but
I'm just gonna throw this in here because I'm late. But here's the one thing about this whole Bergdahl guy. He was never listed as a POW by the Pentagon. I think that pretty much wraps up the conversation on exactly a lot of things about the guy.
Well, because he left voluntarily.
Yep.
He left voluntarily because he didn't like it. Matter of fact, there were emails and other forms of communication in which he said that he was going to leave. And I think that plays a large part of the people that served with him, why they don't like him so much. I heard one guy said that he deserves the death penalty.
yeah, and I I'm not gonna go into there, but I don't agree with killing somebody just because my religious or Christianity belief. But again, and Brent 0331, which is a Marine infantry guy, made a good point. The moment that he left his post, if he actually gets convicted of leaving his post, missing the movement or whatever article the military has, I don't know exactly what article. He put not only his life as at risk, which I don't care about his life if he left, but he put everyone on that base at risk because he was covering that sector's supply.
Marine as well.
Yeah, he's a Marine as well.
No, didn't he cause the death of 6 Marines by leaving?
Oh yeah. I mean, he left that position. The enemy could have infiltrated through that location, and the enemy could have a bomb, not a car bomb, but just a suicide attack could have mass casualties. And Afghanistan is known for having a lot of suicide attacks. I mean, when I was there, it was maybe I want to say 2-3 times that a guy walked into an entry control point and pretty much walked there and were like boom and killed a bunch of Marines. So again, the fact that he did that and the fact that 6 guys died, he should be punished to the max. And it's funny because I'm reading an article right now saying that he's planning to go back to college. What do you mean you're planning to go back to college? You're probably going to be in jail for a long time if you get convicted.
Not in this administration. I don't think that for 1 minute, because if he gets convicted, that's going to make Obama look bad. And you cannot make Obama look bad. That's against all the rules. And, that Chicago-style politics, that's it.
Yeah. I think you made a great point on that because, well, I mean, our president is a narcissist, just hands down one of the biggest narcissists I've ever seen. And I think you hit it exactly right there. Is he doesn't give a crap about Bergdahl or the 5 guys he swapped at this point now. I think he would be more worried about any blowback that would come back on him and how he would look after this deal. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
His legacy is going to be crap anyway. I mean, it might just take a few more years, but he's not going to have a good legacy anyway.
Yeah.
No matter how the media tries to paint it.
Well, he may run for a 3rd term. Maybe he go again for it. I'm just saying.
I think the fact that we and so many other people are talking about it kind of backfired on him, because I think what he expected was, oh, look at him, he's fighting to get the Americans back. He's so patriotic. Oh, he's doing this. These people that they released they're going to go back to their families. They're fine. They deserve a trial. They. And look at, and then when everybody started saying, whoa, what's this all about? And then you start hearing the real story that he deserted and that he was a sympathizer for the Afghans and all this, and people are saying, whoa, what's going on here, Obama? Then just recently, one of the government watchdog groups just said what he did is illegal. That needs to be followed up. You cannot set precedent and say, you know what, this president once again went through the back door, didn't get any other agreement with any other elected officials, swapped a deal with potential terrorists who could kill Americans, and then just let it go away. So look at us, we brought him home. That's not right.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Obama hates the military. I mean, he just hates them. Whoever said he's totally he just hates us. He hates the military, and it's funny because in one of his speech, he's like giving a medal to one of the soldiers that did great things. And by no means I want to be there, but if Obama knocks on my door right now, I probably won't open the door. I would just tell and sorry, man, through the door. You know what I'm saying? You go and visit a guy next to me because he hates the military. He is trying to cut off the military, which we have Russia building an empire that probably gonna attack us in the next 10 years, and he wants to cut off the military. We got VA guys dying, guys that cannot get a VA appointment. And he left Marines dead, Marines and soldiers dead at an airport because the government wasn't shot down. I mean, I was in Japan, and I was getting canceled by my leadership because most likely we weren't going to get paid. And I'm in Japan, my children are in a different country, so I would consider that making a sacrifice in a different country for a year and a half, and you telling me you're not going to pay me? And I couldn't even picture the guys that were actually in country fighting the war, and you're not going to pay their families. Like, we actually got...
When they were talking... That's when they were doing that budget talks and raising the debt limit. The one thing that he said is Social Security, people on SSI, and the military won't get paid. All the other programs that he supports, those were going to continue to be funded, but it was going to be those two groups, and that's him. Those are, that's where he can garner the most support from the American people.
Yeah, how about that devil dog in Mexican jail? Yeah, exactly. Brent 0331, a Marine with combat awards, combat action ribbon, meaning that he was in combat on his uniform in Mexico for what, 4 or 5 months already?
Since April.
Like you tell me that the United States cannot make a phone call and say, hey, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing with our Marine? You got about 3 seconds.
Had he not gone into Mexico with an AR-15 and weapons, it might have been a different story. But if Obama even attempts to help him out, he's going to look like he's pro-gun almost. Everybody knows different, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
well, the thing about that is
he doesn't want to do anything that's going to...
Like you're the commander-in-chief. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should not take 150 signatures or people complaining for you to do this. I mean, this is part of your job. It shouldn't take the American people to tell you, hey, bro, you should do this. I shouldn't tell you to do your job. The moment that you hear a Marine is down there for whatever, you should be lifting your phone and be like, hey, what's going on? Or why are we paying you guys so much money? You have a whole cadre, a whole group of people that work for you. Don't you know how to delegate to pass information down? Like, you do this, you do this, and you do this, and report back to me and get it done? I mean, don't we know how to do that? It just blows my mind, man. So
you think we could hire somebody to smuggle them across?
Yeah. I should have somebody that are Mexican somewhere. I should call them out.
It's just simple. You don't get one dime of aid payment until that guy's released. And by the way, we're coming down tomorrow, okay? And so forget any foreign aid. That's it. The problem I see with Obama is he's never really clearly defined himself, and one of the reasons is he has no specialty. He really has no specialty. They took a chance. The people that voted for him took a chance on somebody who really has no experience in any critical issue, whether it be energy, foreign affairs, budget. He just doesn't know. And so his thing is politics first, make sure it makes him look good. He's still living in the Obama yes we can era, and people are turning their back on him. But the fact that he's ignored that. Go ahead. I'm taking too much time.
No. I'm just kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, because he sent what, 3? I think he sent 3 administration officials to the Brown funeral in Missouri, and he sent 0 to the journalist that was beheaded.
Well, that's interesting.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute he sent Eric Holder to Missouri, I thought, oh my goodness, that wasn't going to go well. But, oh well. I better shut up about that.
Well, and here we have another case where the facts have not really been revealed. You have 2 sets of stories coming out there, and you have the media and even the administration already taking a side without really knowing what's going on.
Exactly.
Same way they did with Trayvon Martin. Obama came out and said, if I had a boy, he would look like Trayvon Martin. What does that tell us about him? What does that really mean?
It's something that actually kills me, and I don't know, maybe from being in a little bit higher level of a job, you're starting to learn how to be professional, how to talk to people, how to communicate, and the thing that kills me is the relationship that he has with the Congress. Like, you guys don't have a relationship, any type of professional relationship. Like, you guys can talk. Like, I get it that actually I don't even get it. When you're supposed to notify the Congress that you're going to turn in 5 high-value target terrorists that are going to most definitely going to commit crimes, and not so much commit crime. They're going to do planning of attacks against Americans and Americans, the country. And I don't know how you don't have time to notify the Congress. Like, you cannot pick up the phone and say, hey, look, I know there is a formal way to do this, but just FYI for your information, this is coming down the pipe, and we gotta act on this right now at this moment. Like,
because everybody would have said no. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. But that goes back to not having a relationship, not working together. That's what that goes back to. They don't work together, and when you like that, nothing's gonna get accomplished. That's why we see the government shut down. That's why we see this, because they don't have a relationship. A lot of times you working. A lot of times you say, "All right, man, you know what? I'm gonna go your way because whatever. You always work good with me. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna build a trust. We're gonna build a professional relationship." But they don't have anything. They just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Nick, it's like no.
Yeah. I've never seen a president blame Congress as much as this guy did.
Yeah.
It wasn't when he had the Democratic Senate and the Democratic House, and they jammed a bunch of stuff down our throats. Then when the American people voted a lot of those Democrats out and the Republicans took over the House, all he's done since then is blame, which is the exact opposite of what he ran on. He ran on being a uniter, being able to, get people working together. And the exact opposite has happened. And I've never seen a bigger baby in my life. You'd think that you'd be able to build relationships, try to get some good things going, meet some middle ground. But he sits there and gets in front of every camera he can and blames somebody else for why he is failing.
I'll tell you what, for how much he is on a golf course, I mean, that's where you broker business deals. And for how much he's on a golf course, you'd think it'd be pretty easy to make a business deal.
Yeah. And you know what? And going back to this guy, I remember some occasions I had people don't really, and for you guys that are actually watching, we actually have people watching, but a lot of guys think about a military base being like this military base, like you driving down and you see something close, and then you have to drive 50 miles to make it to a military base. It is not like that. A patrol base could be a house, like you walking down a street and here's an Iraqi or an Afghani, and here's another house that used to belong to Haji Baba, whatever, and now we have an American military base in there, a patrol base. I was on bases where our backyard was the other dude's backyard, and it was kind of funny, because you kind of look over and say hi to the guy every day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, on a lot of occasions, like, I had to sleep, and the Afghani soldiers sleep like next to me, like almost shoulder to shoulder, which freaked me out 90% of the time. I couldn't sleep because you can't trust those guys.
Yeah. So
we sleeping with our pistols and a knife and just whatever. And the whole point was the way they did it. They wanted us. I guess what we learned from the Iraq versus Afghani is the whole hearts and minds. Like, we want to work with them. We want to be next to them. We want to do missions with them. So, and a lot of times you see Marines, soldiers actually putting their life at risk because you shoulder to shoulder with these guys. But again, I don't see them coming into the base to take him out and kidnap them. I see them coming into a base pretending to be Afghani soldiers with a vest on and blowing the cell up and killing as many Americans as I can. Mass casualty, going inside a place where we're eating and blowing off and killing people. I think I see him walking out of his post, which a lot of guys don't picture that. The chances of him walking away from his post are extremely high, because all you have to do, that's why I went into this 2-minute rant, is just jump the fence and keep walking. So it's not like you're going to walk 50 miles and eventually you're going to make it to the Taliban. You are in the middle of a city. Like, you could just open the front door, take 3 steps to the left, and knock on the other dude's front door, which is actually an Afghani and probably has connection to the Taliban. So I see him walking out, and I definitely, this is something somebody asked me, I definitely believe his teammates. I will believe then, if somebody comes down and point a gun at me, I will believe those guys versus the major general, whoever that is doing the investigation. At no point, I will believe those guys, because those guys were there, and those guys have the details, which the general is never going to have. I mean, he's probably going to, by the time that they do the report and the report goes from this general to this general to this general, I guarantee you the chief of staff is going to get it, and it's going to say something different, because that's what we do. That's how we report news. And then when CNN gets it, it's going to be even worse.
Huh.
So, that was hard.
Good rant.
I think I gotta go and get another drink. But
I mean, kind of here's something going that too. Is, I mean, you look at, you know, my brother was based out of Fort Hood. He was in Iraq when the first, that's sad to say, Fort Hood shooting took place. And remember, the Obama administration has ruled that as workplace violence and not terrorism.
Yep.
Which to me is sickening. Seemings. It's a sad time that my brother was safer in Iraq one day than being on a U.S. military base. But it's also, I mean, just a major spit in the face for the fact of that. How can you call that workplace violence when a guy is screaming Allah Akbar or whatever they scream, Durka Durka, whatever, shooting people? I mean, what would happen if one of us ran into somewhere and said, shooted people and started saying for God, or, you know, for separation, or, you know, separating a state from, you know, from the Union or something like that? We'd be labeled as a domestic terrorist, hands down, in a second.
we are just for owning guns.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted a terrorist act on his watch. So he could say that he you know, Bush had a terrorist act. He didn't.
Good point. But that is a terrorist attack.
Oh, yeah.
Once you cause mass fear and mass casualty, you are committing a terrorist attack. A terrorist attack is not just getting a couple of planes and running against a building. I mean, if a guy started killing people in a city, that is a terrorist attack. And we remember, what was, I think it was 95, 90 something. I think it was Virginia, Washington. Remember the sniper that was killing people from the trunk of his car? He caused mass terror in that place. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if you recall, you know, just a little side note on this, all of the descriptions of the vehicle were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They say, you know, the people they were looking out for, it was wrong. And they really didn't have any idea much
I was a kid. We don't want to ask Brian. He's the older guy. I was a kid back
What? I'm only 44.
Yeah.
I think Dan is the geriatric ward over here, and I mean.
Yeah.
I was still living with my mom back then. I'm just saying.
I thought that looked like basement walls behind you.
No, that's actually a treadmill that I haven't used in like a while.
You used it one time when you put it up?
Yeah, it worked pretty well the first 2 minutes.
I think I see a yoga mat back there too that looks like it's all tied up.
I'm actually, some of those long videos, I actually go walk or whatever and watch it along. Got the computer right here, so I'll be watching your shows and things like, you know that. And but anyways.
Sound a little awkward there for a second, I gotta admit that.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're not just sitting in his underwear watching you.
No, I don't go that way.
Oh, you don't wear underwear when you're doing it? Okay, never mind. Change subjects. You guys are just wrong.
Yeah. Man, but you know, it's just crazy that I'm actually pretty interesting. According to the news, which, you know, again, the news is the news, is supposed to they're supposed to release the investigation by next month. So I really wanted to see what's going to happen, but again, I don't really see the truth being reported. Whatever comes out in those reports, I don't even think it's what really happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really waiting to see any expectation. I see him walking away, just like Dan was talking about it, just because the current administration don't really want to put him as a traitor. So
Yeah,
I
they
see
don't.
them
I just
just
said they
like
don't want to admit they
let
were
go.
wrong.
So
Well, here's kind of some little offshoot here, but I feel like this may play a role in it. Is again, this could be me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when I was growing up, I had just this huge amount of respect for people that had served. It didn't matter if they were in combat or not, and I was just always in awe of those that had served. And of course, as a child, and my grandfather with World War II, I'd want to hear about stories, and for me, it was just like, wow, these guys are such great people, and I feel like that. It's not. I'm not saying that it's not there, but it's not like as shiny. It doesn't have that shine to it, like it used to, of people being respectful of those that have served. And I feel like that plays into a slight role of this, to where people are like, oh, it's kind of no big deal or whatever. And that could just be me on this, but I feel like that might play a role into it. And I think and the unfortunate thing is, I think it would take people to actually people don't understand like what rationing is, during like that was in World War II, it would take something that extreme for people to actually realize and realize probably the sacrifice of those that serve. And it doesn't matter what branch they are or whatever. I mean, how was my life affected during Iraq and Afghanistan, other than me worrying about friends and my brother and stuff? But I mean, there's nothing that was that affected my daily life every single day. Nothing that, okay, this part of, what's going on there affected my day. And I think it's unfortunate that would need to happen, I think, for people to start respecting our servicemen more. But I don't know, I feel like that as a culture we've lost that respect for sacrifice and for those that have served. I'm just
that's a really good point that you made. I was watching a regular guy channel or whatever his name is. You ever watch him? I guess he's kind of new. He's a young guy, Army, ex-Army, and actually I think he's still there. And but people give him so much crap, it's just not even funny. And as one of my comments the other day, I mean, he cusses a lot, and I guess that's not that big of a deal anymore. But if people just sit there and bash him, I think because he looks 12, like he's 12 years old, like you said, and I don't know, it's like the lack of respect these days, just really discouraging.
Well, one of the reasons I think also is that the administration doesn't recognize the soldiers. He to him it's an obstacle that he doesn't want to go around. He does very little for returning military. He does very, very little for. Oh, geez, what's that? Who just popped that in?
Brian.
Oh, do what?
That's one of the dudes that we released. Man,
yeah, I was still listening to Dan. He just stopped in mid sentence.
Oh, well, you've seen other administrations talk very proudly about the military. They talk about the sacrifices, thank them for their services, show up over there and give speeches to them, talk to them, shake their hand. Not this guy. You don't hear a thing about it. It's always a distraction. It's a problem. It's blame America first, and then move on. And then I'm so tired of that. Blame America first, and now we need to make changes.
It's funny. I had an investigation a few months ago, and I had to go out on this guy, and I can say stuff, I just can't mention names. And we sit there and talk for a little bit, and he was ended up being a LERP in Vietnam, and he had just some of the greatest stories, and we had this great conversation, and that's one of the things he was saying, that he still to this day people don't appreciate what he and his comrades had to do, and the friends that he's lost and everything. And it's just like the lack of respect, and he seemed to be bothered by that more than anything else, because he mentioned it like 4 or 5 times. And it's kind of sad that you sacrifice so much and give so much and receive so little, and then come back and be pretty much shunned by your peers or by society. And I'm not just saying because he was in Vietnam. I'm just saying, like, echoing what you were saying, that even these days that it hasn't got any better, that people still don't have respect for one another, much less the servicemen and women.
Right. I actually get really, really upset, man, when I hear, well, man, you two is different. I mean, I got called a terrorist like a month ago. So that I killed like a million people. I don't remember killing a million people, but apparently I'm a terrorist, and I've been called Mexican a few times. Which, again, people, I'm not Mexican, so let it go. So,
Really?
But again, here's one of the things that really upset me that you're talking about that, Brian. Calling the retirement, the DOD, like sometimes you get treated like why are you calling here? You know, if you have something where you pay or something like that, like I'm not calling for you to give me welfare or something. You know, that's your retirement. You retire, you rate it. So it's not something that you giving me out of free. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't free. You put the time to earn your retirement, and when you re-enlist, you understand that, you know, like the first enlistment, I went to Iraq twice. The second enlistment, I deployed it again, and you know, to Afghanistan, and I was also on a ship for 6 months with the Navy. So you make your sacrifices. At the end, you get your retirement. So don't talk to us like you know, we're asking you for a favor or something like that. I don't know, man. That kind of upset me a lot of times when I called and they treat you bad. You know, like, well, this and this, and you're like, really, man? And that's if they even answer the phone. Because 90% of the time they don't answer you. They don't answer the phone. You know, usually you could stay in the line for like an hour. Sometimes they don't even answer the phone. Like they straight up tell you call a different day, and then you call a different day and they don't even answer you. And it's just ridiculous, man. But again, it is what it is. But one thing I wanted to say about that right there, Dan, we were talking about the money. Can you picture our military guys fighting the war? And let's say a young kid that is 21, 22 years old has a wife and a kid back home, probably living paycheck to paycheck, as a lot of those guys do. And now you're not getting paid. You're being told that you're not going to get paid, like we were told. Most likely, we're not going to get paid when I was in Japan. But these guys are actually in combat, and you're not really thinking on what you got to do. You're thinking about your wife and kid. They're not going to have money coming up the first to buy groceries, and when you start thinking about those things, that's the kind of things that will get you killed in combat. And I think that's disrespectful. To go back to the whole disrespectful thing, like how dare you not pay our guys? You know what I'm saying? Especially our active duty guys fighting the war. Like how dare you not pay them? I don't know, man.
Well, that falls true with a lot of things. If you look at the hurricane, a lot of the Hurricane Katrina, a lot of the law enforcement that was there to you know, try to get some calmness, after a while they left. They said, where's my family? I need to check my family. So what they learned was we need to secure their family first, so these guys can go do their job to the best of their ability. If they know that everything's okay, they can go to work. And so by doing that, like you said, that could get you killed, because you're not on your best game at that point. You're distracted.
Yeah.
Pretty pathetic.
I think we lost Brian. Yeah, crazy stuff, man. Very, very uncalled for. And one thing that kind of like scares me, which, you know, Nick, you were talking about, you know, like people, you know, I went to Iraq in 2003, you know, the first one, like you said, and we were actually fighting the Iraqi soldiers, not insurgents or soldiers. I mean, these guys were dressed with the Iraqi uniform and all that. And what was I going with this? All right. Sorry, man, I lost it.
I think you're about to say that the Iraqis actually even fought better than the French.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. And you're talking about it really didn't affect your life. And we always used to say, you know, hey, we fight in the war, everybody else is shopping at the malls, because people don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of issues nowadays with our young kids. And where I was going with this one is that Russia is like preparing. Like these guys are preparing. They went down to Cuba. They paid 90% of their debt. So pretty much they paid off almost entire debt of Cuba. They're paying a lot of countries down in South America, which they're known for having a lot of communist belief. They got this new location in Ukraine. So for me, that's like preparing. And you want to cut off the military. I don't understand that. You should prepare our military. And the way you're treating the military, a lot of the young guys don't even want to join the military. So who's going to defend the country when something, 10 years from now, we find ourselves fighting the Russians or something? Who's going to defend the country? You know what I'm saying? It's scary, man. I mean, I get it. It's scary, but if you tell that to people probably don't believe you.
Well, it's very easy. It's very easy. Like it was mentioned, I think Nick mentioned it earlier. It's very easy to be an American and not be affected by what's going on. We can go out to eat, we can go do our thing, we can hang out as long as the TV's on, food in the fridge. You could just remove yourself from what's going on in the country, and then they watch the news and they get their opinion from that. And a while back, they used to stream across all the news about the Americans who died. They had a running total of every American who died. Well, that's completely gone away. People now, they say, oh, well, the American people are past that. We're not past that. We're right in the midst of it right now. How can we not pay attention or not care? This is a big deal. And yet, we're more concerned about gay marriage. We're more concerned about, other social issues. The strength of this country is usually it's backed up by the American people. I don't see it right now, and that's scary.
Good points, man.
They're too busy on Kick Chat and what's the other stupid one? Snapchat, is that the other one?
Yeah.
I don't know the names of them. I just use text
Google
message.
Chat.
I guess I'm boring.
Yeah.
Well, you make videos, right?
Yeah. I got YouTube because I'm bored. Probably won't.
No, I don't. It sounds bad to say, but I kind of hope ISIS invades. Just I hope they do.
I don't, man.
And I think
ready for it.
that we should we'll let them take California, and that's where we'll draw the line at.
A little portion of New York.
Extremist Jew.
Or we'll sell it to them. Hey, they could have, they could turn Disneyland into Jihad Land. Is that what they want? I don't know. I'm fine with that. We'll trade them.
And what gives me is that I keep seeing. Do you guys watch the stock market much?
Every day.
Okay, you see how it ended today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Really well. I don't know. There's just so many things right now. All the ups and downs. It just, to me, I'm almost like putting. Maybe I'm just becoming one of these conspiracy nuts, but things just seem to be happening in odd ways. I mean, even Putin taking Crimea. Why in the world would he want Crimea now? Well, he needs Crimea. Well, he doesn't need it, but just because of the ports that make such a big difference. And but I keep seeing all these little things, and I keep wondering if we're not being set up. And I'm not trying to be one of these what's that Jones dude, Alex Jones, or anything like that. But man, I keep seeing these little things like that, and I keep wondering. I wonder.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if you caught up when I was saying this, but they pay like 90% of the debt in Cuba and a bunch of countries down in South America, which are known for having communist belief, especially Venezuela, Colombia. All those countries have terrorist groups that have communist belief, and they going down there and pay up the money and giving them resources. I mean, that's a clue for me.
I would say here's the biggest thing. If Russia does something, takes Crimea, invades another country, or takes whatever, who has the balls to stand up to them nowadays? And when you look in the world political leadership,
Nobody.
So if if I'm Putin, I'm like, hey, I can just go take this country, and it's cool. I'll probably just go take the country.
He did that.
I mean, let's be honest. What is Obama going to do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, and apparently the talks between Poroshenko and Putin aren't going anywhere right now.
I mean, what does Obama do? He bans the import of my Sega rifle over there. Whoa. Yeah,
Big deal.
like Russia doesn't have anyone else who wants to buy an AK.
Yeah.
My question is, why did he choose rifles? We get a ton of stuff from Russia. Why is it that he chose the rifles?
Yeah.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
we have to import more ammo than rifles.
Right into his platform. Hey, Brian, I'm with you on that over there because I'm a little nervous. When I watch the stock market, I think it's based on false numbers. I had a discussion with my broker, and I suggested that we put a lot of my stuff into just fixed. You know, I see the ceiling falling out in this, and his opinion, yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried sick about it because I really think that this whole thing's going to come crashing down, and we're going to reach a point in this country where we say, "Oh, well, we didn't know it was this bad." Well, the signs have been leading up to it all along.
Yeah.
And so everything's based on these false numbers, and then we go right back again to let's look at the American people. Hey, you know what? I can order a pizza. It shows up at my door. I can watch the game. I got beer in the fridge, gas in the truck. Life's good. And we turn a blind eye to it. We become too comfortable, and that's not a good place to be. If our military gets cut and all of a sudden the dollar's not worth what it was, and the stock market drops, and all of a sudden Russia's building up and China's building up, and all this is going on, and the price of oil just skyrockets. What are we going to do? How you know?
I am so glad you're
Police
saying that
look like
because that's kind of what I'm trying to say without trying to say it. I mean, I can't really say a lot because of my job, and so there's a lot of times I have to just shut up and really monitor what I say.
Well, if you want, put it in the comments, and then I read it. I just say it's my idea. Take credit for it. Put it in the internal, and I say, hey, guys, check out this new idea that I got.
I mean, I see everything. I mean, I'm not, like I said, well, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but too many things are just adding up to smell like crap. And I figure if it looks like it, smells like it, and tastes like it, it probably really is just a bunch of crap.
I'd say you could probably get away without tasting it, though, after you smell it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Man, you know, I'm fat. Yeah, I gotta say.
Man, you know what's crazy, man? And I saw a video maybe like 2 months ago. Actually, a police officer talking about how, the whole MRAPs and all that stuff, and talking about how they need all this equipment because a lot of military guys are coming back from country, from combat, and they know how to build IEDs and they know how to build all this and all this stuff. And to the point that you actually, according to you, this guy was like a lieutenant in whatever police station. And again, I'm not anti-police officer. I mean, I was an MP for a long time. But a lot of these guys are actually thinking that, you getting this equipment to defend yourself from us. Like, military guys defended this country.
I know it's
I guarantee you, I guarantee you that if something happens, many of the vets, no matter like guys that probably served 30 years ago, are probably going to be the ones some of the ones. I'm not saying just some of the ones because I met a lot of guys that haven't served and they just straight up patriot and love this country. But those guys are going to be some of the ones that are going to stand up and fight. I know that for a fact. And you are preparing because military guys know how to build an IED. Anybody knows how to build an IED. Just go to Google and Google that. It's just ridiculous, man.
We had a town meeting 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, and that's what they were talking about, all the benefits of the MRAPs and getting all this military gear. And, they're trying to make it sound so sweet, and they have so many of our local citizens just on board with it and just turning a blind eye and not realizing what would happen if they turn that against you. And, I mean, and I understand that I'm being hypocritical, but it's still it gives me great concern, especially because I see how a lot of law enforcement is, not necessarily just around here, but in this state. Around here, they're really big on the Constitution, especially our county sheriff. I mean, they don't want to do anything that's going to interfere with constitutional rights, and I really appreciate that and love that. But our some of our local agencies aren't quite so diligent in their pursuit of our liberties.
No, one of my videos that's been popping up on the views is I did an interview with my brother about do police need MRAPs, because that's what he drove part of the time in Iraq. And literally, if you're talking about like any sort of tactical advantage, there's literally none with an MRAP. I mean, he talks about it, you know, I mean, it is designed to eat IEDs. That's literally much it. You're not going to roll. You're not going to roll up quietly on anybody and surprise them with a tactical advantage. It's literally
drive by.
Yeah, it's yeah. You know, you're not going to be able to drive it down a small city road without wiping out a whole line of cars on one side. You know, it is designed to eat IEDs, and that's it. That's why I see really no need for them. And like a lot of people think like, oh well, they'll just drive it into a building, and that's how the guys will get in. Well, no, because you exit in the back, and people have TV and movies ruin so many gun things and military things because people have these unrealistic expectations. You know, they think of this driving in and this ramp just falls down and guys jump out, and how fast does a ramp go?
Not fast. And by the way, that back door weighs like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So good luck trying to open that in a fast way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. The new ones that they had, well, I said new one a couple of years ago, they got the kind of like a tank. It kind of comes down. Hydraulic, that may be easier. But some of the old ones that the police have, that door is 300 pounds, and it weighs like crazy. I say about 300 pounds. I don't know exactly how much, but I know it's in the hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Either way, it's not fast.
It's not fast.
You know, it's not some, you know, I think people just have these, oh, they'll use it for tactical extractions and all this stuff, and it's like, no, it's meant to eat explosive devices. That's it. That's what it's meant to do. That's it.
But you know, it goes back to you too. I'm telling you, is the whole looking cool. I mean, this guy just want to look cool. This has probably nothing to do with what kind of gear you have in the capability. They look cool. You know, I got my cool gear and my cool vest and my cool rifle, and I just look cool. That's what I get out of this. Just like a bunch of YouTube channels that never done any training, and all they want to do is look cool. And I got the new belt, that this and that, and the new holster, and you're like, whatever, man. Just go ahead and go and shoot your gun and have some fun. Hey, I think they're too much into the looking cool factor. Like, what about you look like a basic police officer? You know, like nice, professional. Like, go out there and say hi. You know what I'm saying? You could just say, hey, how are you? Go and collect intelligence. Go and talk to the community. Go and do that. You don't have to respond to a homeless with full combat gear. Like that guy that they killed in New Mexico. Or was it New Mexico? Whatever.
Yeah, New Mexico.
It was. Yeah. Like those guys responded like freaking RoboCop there.
What was this? I didn't hear about that.
I think
it was a while ago.
Remember the homeless that they shot and killed in New Mexico?
It was on a mountain, side of a mountain or something.
Yeah.
No, and that's kind of funny. I'll save my whole new life job for another time. But I work at a gun shop on a range, and we had a dude at the range wearing a CIA tab, and I'm just like, really, guy? If you're in the CIA, do you wear something that says, "Hey, I'm in the CIA"? I was like, really, guy? Then he was like, "Oh, I'm going down range next week," you know, implying like, you know, he's going overseas undercover. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't tell me that if you were CIA. Like, I think you broke, like, the CIA has 2 rules, and you just broke both of them. Pretty sure you're not CIA.
Yeah.
But you know, that's the thing, though, is we have dudes that come in. I literally, like, I run a pistol league for where I work. And there was a guy there that was just kind of hanging around the range when we shut it down for a pistol league. And I was like, hey, why don't you come run it? You know, just come run it. And he was like, oh, you know, the last time I did, you know, I left 12 generals with their mouths dropped open, you know, blah, 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 when I was in Iraq. The dude ran the course and was just terrible. Just terrible. Of course, he had Uncle Mike's holster and he concealed carried in the middle of his back. So, I mean, I knew it right away. But on that note, there's so many people that are taking YouTube tactical, this war stuff, just to another level that it's just insane. It's so sickening.
I bet you if I put my camis on, I get more subscribers. That's what I'm gonna do with Dam's next debate. I'm gonna put my full combat uniforms on. Maybe I win because he been beating me up for the last 2 debates. People at least will feel sorry for me and be like, "Hey, JH6, good job, buddy."
Not gonna feel
Maybe
sorry
that's
for
what I should
you.
have done for this chat.
What's that?
Should put the helmet on and the plate carrier and everything, just so it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Just start referring yourself in the third person when you wear your military gear.
What's that, Dan?
Have I ever given you any indication that I'm going to feel sorry for you about anything?
No.
Okay.
No, the problem is that you have too many loyal subscribers, man. Like, all those guys always go like, "Oh, I'm with you, Dan." I'm like, "Come on, man. I made a good point." But no, that new series is pretty fun, and people dig it, and we like it, and it's good for good stuff. So, but anyways, I think we jump into a different topic. We jump into like 3 different topics, but it's all good.
I could go on all day about this. On Fridays we have an AR league, and literally this dude shows up in combat boots, like these old like 80s camo pants, and a Modern Warfare 3 shirt.
Sweet.
I'm like,
He was
come
real.
on, dude. With his left-handed stag, and of course, what happens? The dude has 2 ADs downrange when running the rifle course, because he's wearing his but it was his gloves. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
Like, you wear your gloves around your finger, right?
That AR behind me, that particular one, is a left-handed stag, so be careful.
Yeah, but you're not wearing a Modern Warfare 3 shirt.
I can go put it on, though. Now I got a righty right here.
Hey, what's the difference with the left? You say it's left-handed, Brian?
Yeah. Ejection ports on the left side and the port assists on the left side. And that's the main thing I really like. Just because I'm right-handed, if I'm shooting right-handed, I'm always busting my knuckles on that, man. I hate it. And that's my favorite thing is with the lefty. It's on the opposite side. I don't have to bust my knuckles every time
Yeah, because I shoot left-handed the rifle, and I shoot right-handed the pistol.
you're left. You see,
I'm left eye dominant.
Yeah, I'm right eye dominant, and it's funny because I can shoot a rifle right-handed fairly well, but I still I'm a lot better shooting a pistol left-handed than I am right-handed. But I can throw a ball left or right-handed. And
Well, when I shoot the pistol, I usually hit left, so because I'm aiming with my left eye, so I have to kind of aim a little bit to the right. But I always forget that, been shooting for years and years, and I always think to myself, why am I hitting left? And then I realize that I'm aiming with the wrong eye. It happens every single time, man.
That's something I struggle with too. Left eye dominant. You're pulling just a hair, which makes a difference on the target.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm the only normal one here.
Well, you're the odd ball out, so it'd be you're abnormal, wouldn't you?
I was born right-handed.
Actually works very well in my in some kind of weird way because I usually carry the AR on my left and then I have my pistol on my right, so I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? The AR hitting the pistol kind of thing, which I prefer single point swim.
You can dual wield, right?
Is that how you
do
it? Yep. Yeah. Technically, I could.
Make a video doing that, man. You'd get a 10,000 subscribers overnight.
Yeah.
Man, I put a Geisley Super 3 gun trigger in that lefty. Oh man, you have to. Do you ever shoot one of those? One of the Geisley Super 3 gun? It is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's a little too fast for me. I mean, I'm just mediocre to say the best, and but a couple rounds a second, I'm all right. If I get faster than that, man, I'm hitting all over the place.
Yeah.
That trigger is amazing.
I love it.
One thing that was kind of hard for me was kind of adjusting to the civilian life with the gear, because typically you got so much cool looking gear and all top of the line this, top of the line that, and then when you get out you actually have to pay for it. so you really can't afford it. So it was kind of like an impact, because like a lot of this gear I didn't even know it was out there because it was so, like not good that we didn't even pay attention to it, and so it's all good, man.
Hey, on a total side note, we're talking about gear. Has anybody sent anything back to EOTech before?
Mm-mm.
I sent my optic back, and it came back today, and there's like no notes. There's just like I don't know if they did anything or not, or
You just have to assume it's fixed, and then it works perfectly.
I mean they replaced the outer shell, but it was scratched. So I was like, I don't know if they actually fixed anything or not. So
I think that's going to be the next optic I buy is a EOTech.
I like it.
Yeah. I still got to buy an upper for my AR, man. I got the lower for the last 6 months, at least. I haven't bought an upper. I actually went to the store to buy an upper, and I bought the MMP shield. And then I went back a couple of months after that to pick up an upper, and I walked out with the Ruger 1022 50-year anniversary. I don't know why. I go and pick up something specifically, and I walk out with something else. But I think this time I'm actually going to do it.
You want it all.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Ruger 1022 takedown 50-year anniversary. That was too nice, man. I had to get it. I mean,
I don't have a 1022.
Yeah. It's sweet, man. It's nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So, and I picked up one of those BX. It's a BX 25s, but this one's a times 2, so it's pretty much 2 BX 25 together. So you kind of shoot 25, rotate the magazine, put the other side, you got 25 more rounds. So
very tactical.
Rounds. Yeah,
very tactical.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. That's the right way to get subscribers on YouTube. Tactical. I actually lost like 5-6 subscribers on the last day, man. Like I think are going the opposite way.
It's funny. Last year I noticed when I uploaded those couple videos, I kept losing subscribers, and then I uploaded those 2 the other day, and I lost 7 within 2 or 3 hours, and then late by the end of the day, I think I was down 13, and it was just ridiculous. It's all the bushcraft stuff. Since I quit doing all the bushcraft videos, and most of my subscribers, I think all together when I looked at it, I was 2,300 down from my highest point.
I think I'm about 500-600 subscribers down. I already lost in the last year. But man, like some people get so irritated for no reason. Like there's a lot of guys, and some guys want to hear videos about something else. So if the video doesn't really apply to you, I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna apply to somebody else, And it's kind of hard to I guess accommodate everyone. But it is what it is, man.
I don't know. I mean, you go to such extent to please your subscribers. I mean, you make up this accent to please your international viewers.
Yeah.
You wear a camo hat to please the military. I don't think you can do much more.
No. I just need 1 million subscribers now. So and I'll be like the Russian guy.
I mean, if anybody doesn't know, his real name's Wayne. I mean, that's.
And I'm from Kentucky.
Okay, I can hold a straight face till you said that.
Man, you know what? And some people get so mad, and it's kind of like, come on, man, we do this for fun. Trust me, I don't do this for money. I mean, I rarely get paid any money from YouTube, so this is a fun thing to do. I enjoy doing this. I mean, it takes such a long time to edit a video, and people don't really get that. But then again, some other people do get it, and I actually enjoy YouTube a lot. I got a few trolls. Like every video that I have is disliked, every single one, just like you guys. But I met a lot of cool people here. Look, I met you guys, and Brian is cool, Nick is cool. Dan, I don't know yet.
You probably just lost some credibility just by saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know about Dan. He been beating me up too hard in the last couple of weeks.
I was thinking about that today. I'm running out the house to try to get you my response back in time. right? I ended up parking at McDonald's, didn't get a good signal, parked at Bell Tire, did all that just so I could hurry up and get that. I'm thinking, you know, the people who watch the video, they could care less about any of this. You know, go through all this hassle and you know, to get a debate video. It's like, oh, these guys are debating again. Were they, you know, it's like, holy smokes. There's a lot more that went into this than meets the eye.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, well, you guys know the deal. I wish Brian would put more videos out, because Brian, I watched some of your old videos, man, and they're good stuff, man. I actually been watching a lot of bushcraft videos, because I think that's an amazing skill to have, man.
Yeah, I thought about trying to figure out find the CDs that had all of the my old deleted ones, because I did a lot of trapping videos back in the day, and a lot of snares, but I don't think people appreciated them as much as I did. They kind of hurt my feelings, man.
I think it's funny when you actually go up there and you go and do some shooting and put all this efforts and hours and all this stuff on the video, and then the video gets so many views, but then I walk to my backyard and it says something completely like I thought was kind of stupid or something. I like really didn't pay too much attention and get double the views, and you're like, come on, man, really? I spent so much time in this video. Watch this video. Don't watch this one. But
yeah, that's exactly right. Like that one I had that has what 3.5 million views, or probably close to 4 million views now. And when I made that, I did it, and had to do it twice, and I was so discouraged because the wind was so horrible, and I just did a horrible job on that video. Didn't even do the trap very well at all, and then that's the one that goes crazy, and then all my good videos, you know, just are ignored. It is irritating.
Don't feel bad.
It's just like my wife. You know, you never know what's going to make them happy.
Yeah.
Everybody ignores my videos, so you're okay. Don't worry.
We got some good videos, man.
That hurt.
I like when you go out there and pretend to be an operator with your cool AR and your nice and all that stuff. But
That's how you get YouTube subscribers. You got to get fat and wear some semi-tactical gear. I'm pretty much living the dream right now. Pretty much living the dream.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, where are you from?
I live in Wisconsin, but I'm originally from Idaho.
Okay, so you're at a gun shop in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Let me ask you, do many people ask about car? Do you sell many cars?
I actually just took one in on a trade the other day, but not really. But where I work is a little different for the clientele that we have, because I work at, I'm not going to say where I work exactly yet, but the clientele is really different there. Half the people that would walk into my shop, and it drives me nuts, think 1911s are the greatest gun ever, and 45 is the only viable self-defense caliber in the world. So,
for the people who are absolute about anything, irritate me.
So, like, we have like 3 gun cases, we'll say. 2 of them are literally just filled with SIGs and 1911s, and then the other one is just XDs, MMPs, Glocks, whatever. So we'll sell 4 1911s before we sell any other striker-fired gun.
Wow.
But do you guys stock cars?
No.
You don't even stock them. How about you, Brian? I know down south it's not very popular. You don't see many people down south at all with it.
I saw somebody wearing a ball cap the other day in Walmart that had car on it, but you know, I don't really see much of them. I know you like them, and to be honest with you, I'm just going to respect your opinion. I don't really have a problem with hardly any brands myself. I mean, I figure, you know, it's all personal preference. But no, we don't really get very many down here at least that I have seen.
I'm just curious about that, because I don't get it. You know, I'm sitting around here playing with this CT40, and you know, I have such an appreciation. Now, I'm not so myopic that I'm just one, you know, car or nothing. I have others, But I'm really a fan of this gun, and I'm amazed that more people aren't. That it's like a well kept secret.
Everybody around here loves H&K. That's the big thing. H&K or Glock. But I tell you what, I'm thinking about buying another handgun, and I might buy that just because. Maybe I'll start a trend around here.
There you go.
I hold that CW380 the other day. I was telling Dan, man, you can put that thing inside your pocket like it's cool, man.
Yeah, I carry my 380 90% of the time, just because I don't like keeping that Glock on my side, and I sure the heck won't carry my M&P 40. I still hate that thing.
Really?
Yeah, man, I cannot get used to that for the life.
I'm gonna buy me an M&P one of those days, man, because I love my shield. So I just love it. So M&P, you have to be a nice gun.
I wear an M&P every day. That's I can open carry at work, so that's why I wear it every day. But I mean, like I took in a car P380 in a trade, and it's a very, very smooth trigger. It's a long trigger, but it's smooth as butter, and I mean, I don't think it would be any more than it's got to be between 5 and 6 pounds. So, I mean, it's a great trigger, smooth, easy pull. No, I don't hit any walls. You know, I mean, I shouldn't say not any walls. I don't hit any like hills. You kind of maybe feel like an up and down. It's a straight smooth pull. But yeah, that's the only car we have, and that was when I took it on the used. And he put it towards a Mossberg Persuader.
That should be an even trade then.
No.
This is my issue with the M&P 40 because
it's 40.
Yeah, this is the M&P 40.
No, the issue.
Oh, the issue is I can't hit. I'm really erratic with it. So you know how sometimes you'll pull to one side or the other, and it's like every shot is something different. And then I finally figured out that if I bring my support hand down just a little bit and lower my thumb instead of keeping it up here, and then use my trigger finger I'm used to holding my finger in the exact same spot every single time, right there. And with the M&P 40, I need to slide it forward just a little bit. And it seems like I'm a lot more consistent. And it's not making a whole lot of sense to me. And plus, when I pick up a weapon, I want it to be the same have that consistency every single time. And see, I'm already doing it. My thumb's already back up. And I know that I need to rotate my hand down and move my finger forward. I don't like having to think about it. And I don't know if it's just one of those weird things as my body geometry or what, but I just can't get used to it.
I have my thumbs pretty much ride the slide on mine. I don't have any issue. But I mean, here's the biggest knock with M&Ps is literally in the instructions it should be go buy an Apex trigger. That should literally be in the instructions of an M&P, and that's the big problem. Because it's just like, if I was Smith & Wesson, I'd be like, wow, I think it looks like maybe we're missing a lot of the market. So either they sell an upgraded trigger or an upgraded model for not much more, or heaven forbid, just make a better trigger.
Just make a better trigger.
Yeah.
It makes me not want to buy any more Smith & Wesson.
I don't know, my M&P shield is pretty good. The trigger's pretty good. I don't have too many complaints on it.
Yeah, but you know, you're kind of a noob, though.
I'm just saying, maybe I don't know, man. I like a gun that I could purchase and it works. I don't like making any modifications to the gun. You should be able to buy a gun and shoot, just work. Me personally,
I wondered if it might be more a problem with me rather than the gun, because I've just gotten so used to the trigger that I have on my Glocks that moving to anything else, it seems like, I mean, I don't know, I can shoot that Colt Trooper just fine, but you know, it's a revolver.
Well, Glock is better, that's why.
Well, I don't know.
Right,
but you know, when I pick up that PPQ, man, to me, I think PPQ has the best stock trigger of any handgun out there, if you ask me. That I've tried. I haven't tried a car, and I haven't tried a lot of the other. So how's the trigger on those cars, Dan?
It's just as Nick said. It's a consistent pull. Not, it's a full pull, but I like it. It's smooth. It breaks at the perfect time. It's not bad, man. It's right around 6 pounds. Decent reset.
I like the cars, me personally.
I maybe need to shoot one. I was shooting a. Wow, what did he let me use the other day? A buddy, he was trying to get me to buy a F&H, and I can't even remember what model it was. And it was all right. I thought it was a little high for me. I mean, I felt like I had to bring it down just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up that CW 380 one of those days. I just don't know when, but I'm gonna pick it up. I think putting a pistol inside your pockets is having a pocket gun. I think is pretty cool. I like it, me personally. So
I rock my Glock 42 a ton. It's just an easy light gun to carry. That's such the nicest thing about a small gun, whether it's a Glock 42, P380, whatever. When you carry a gun every single day, a light gun does make such a huge difference. It does.
I hate having to cinch my belt up tight every day.
yeah.
So how do you
running
like that Glock 42?
I like it. I guess I don't have the revised Glock 42. I had the original, but when I was on a vacation, I put Winchester white box, I put Herders, I put all sorts of just cheap junk ammo through it, and I never had an issue. I ran Hornady Critical Defense through it, no issues. Even the white box hollow points, Winchester white box hollow points that come in the 50-round packs, ran those through. I haven't had an issue with it at all. So it's been great for me.
Yeah.
I might sell it when the winter comes though, but we'll see.
Hey, you've been
That's
shooting.
nice.
I know I saw a couple of your videos. You've been shooting quite a bit lately. It looks like. What kind of ammunition are you running in your ARs for just goofing around?
Steel case ammo.
That's what I've been doing quite a bit lately. But man, Midway USA's had that those 50 rounds of what is it, Black Hills in stripper clips, and ends up being I think like 36 cents a shot or something like that. I've been buying the crap out of that lately.
When I went out to Idaho on vacation, I bought a ton of 223 and 7.62x39 because being the guy that brings the guns on vacation also means you have to bring the ammo because nobody has any guns, of course. I found a website called Selway Armory. They're based out of Montana, and I bought some dirt cheap ammo from them. And the nice thing was I bought 800 rounds of ammo through them, and they only charged me like $19 in shipping. So that was the really great thing is they didn't kill me on shipping.
Selway Armory.
Yep.
I'm about to check them out, man. I have been on a buying frenzy lately. I really need to stop.
I bought 7.62x39, and they actually had them. They were hollow points. I didn't buy them because they were hollow points. They were cheap, and they were like $4 something a box.
I gotta get back and buy ammo, man. I've been buying knives. That's what I've been doing the last 2 months. Picking up every time I get paid, I buy a knife. So,
But it's all right. I don't have a problem with TMC at all. I've been shooting the crap out of that. I'm trying to get rid of some of this steel case I have, and I think I still have 70, if not 7,500. I have 7,000. I need to count my boxes again of steel case. I really want to start shooting it and getting rid of it.
I literally shoot steel case exclusively because I'm that poor for shooting stuff because it's just so much cheaper and I'll just buy it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with steel case until I started buying this Black Hills from Midway, and they end up being just a few cents cheaper per shot than it would be to shoot like the Monarch or the Tula. That's the only reason I've been buying it.
Oh, I need to buy more 223 because I literally just have like 6 loaded mags and like that's all I have with 223. That's like
oh
it.
My goodness, dude!
Well, we went on
What is
vacation
wrong?
and you're the guy that brings the gun, and then everybody's just like, we're just gonna shoot your ammo. Then I was shooting full auto when I was on vacation, so that hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Hurt a lot.
Wow. And you come over here, I have more ammo than I'll probably ever shoot in the rest of my life.
You can send it this way. I'm sure everybody will say the same thing on this panel.
I kid you not.
What kind of ARs you guys run?
boxes. I bet you that's got to be at least 20,000 rounds sitting right there.
Whoa.
That's some serious business.
I don't know why I just said that when we're actually live online. But
That's what I wondered too.
it is what it is. But yeah, that's why I keep thinking, man, I'm starting to shoot, and I keep buying lately, and I just keep getting these good deals and keep thinking, oh man, I'm getting that, so I'll buy it. And that's why I've like purposely this last month, man, I've been shooting like nobody's business. But it seems like every time I try to put a dent in it, and I'm just adding
We
more.
should
and
stop
more.
by your house and go shooting with you.
Yeah.
Man, come down, man. I'm telling you.
You know what, Brian? When things get crazy again and ammo freezes up, you can sit back with a bag of popcorn and watch the show.
And not just that, I can still shoot when everybody else. And that means I'm just going to have the ranges to myself.
Man, what do you,
Which has
you
been so
believe how
hot
much?
lately. I still have.
You believe how much ammo you get just by buying, a couple of boxes of paycheck, and eventually a few months pass by and you got hundreds and hundreds of rounds? People don't even get that. So, but what kind of ARs you guys are running?
Mine's out of reach, so I'm not gonna get it.
I got 6920.
Yeah, somebody was, Stopping Power was asking that question.
And, I'm one of these people that I'm not a fanboy of any particular company, but I really like Stag just because I haven't had any problems with them. I mean, they just shoot anything. And I don't know. And I can tell I decide just to get a wild hair and buy a different brand, I'll probably just continue to keep buying Stag. And I'm not saying Stag is the best, but I've never had issues out of them. And I shoot probably that particular one right there. I shoot that more than any. And I don't know. It's I can pull out the log. I think I put in close to 16,000 rounds through it.
Well, since
Alright,
Stopping
James.
Power, since he asked, I'll say mine. So I have the Magpul STR stock. I have the AccuGrip adjustable grip. I have the Mech Armor Defense TAC Ops 1 charging handle, Ambi. I have the Fail Zero nickel boron. I have the Unique ARs 15-inch hex rail. And that's
How
custom.
you like
with
the
my-
next rail?
like it with my old YouTube initials on there. Then, of course, my grip stop. Love this thing to death. And then, of course, the Lantac Dragon.
See, I have. How do you
You
like
lost me, man.
that grip stop? Because I've gone through everything. Matter of fact, I just put that stubby on there this past week because I went from an AFG to having nothing for about the last year, just shooting it. And I keep thinking about getting that Diamondback rail, but I've tried the Troy, I've tried the Midwest Industries. I just don't like those smooth rails. I really and truly maybe just adore.
I don't know if you can see that there, but that's teeth right there.
Yeah.
So it's great for when I was shooting it at the local AR league. For barriers, it's great. But for me, I think they say embrace the. I don't know what it is, but for me, it's just for a C grip. It's just right there. I can use it to pull in, and I can just rock it.
Oh,
See,
great.
that might be my problem because my grip. I really and truly like the quad rail just because I like my thumb right here and it sits perfectly on a quad rail, and that's why I think I'm kind of stuck on it. But I don't know. I still think about getting one of
You
those.
guys pointing guns up here. Now we're gonna get the safety police too.
Oh, then I also need to mention the Elftman tactical trigger. A lot of people have heard of them. There's ball bearings in the trigger, and it's 100% modular. It's if you haven't checked, I have an install video and a breakdown on the trigger. It's a drop-in kit.
Yeah.
Ridiculous trigger. Ridiculous.
So pretty much the AR that you got, you don't have it anymore when you bought it.
That was originally an M&P 15.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
I still haven't
All right, James.
got a nickel bore on. Go ahead, sorry.
I think we're about to go offline, but
That's
go
probably
ahead,
good
Brian.
before I open my mouth. I'll go.
No, go ahead and say what you were gonna say, man.
No, I wish I would have shut up before I mentioned my ammo just sitting behind me, man. That's gonna irritate me to no end. Having a problem with blurting. Good grief.
Sorry,
But no,
Stash
I
some of it at my
21
house.
guys watching.
on boat carrier group, and that's probably the next thing I probably really should get.
You guys want to do some outros? Dan, you got anything coming up other than the video we got coming up tomorrow?
Well, yeah, I've got the CT40. Now I'm not working for Carr, trust me, but I got the CT40 as well as the CT45, and these are great guns. I'm probably going to review the 45 first this upcoming weekend, and looking forward to that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a fan of Carr, man. It's on the list. What about you, Nick? You got something coming up?
I just released a video a couple hours ago featuring Tactical Solutions. They're basically barrel or upper, we'll say, for the Ruger Mark III and the 2245, and they also make one for a different one, similar for the Browning Buckmark. Just released that, and then that video also features their Axiom suppressor, which was ridiculous. So that, and otherwise, yeah, I'm now working in a gun shop, and I'm sick and tired of people talking about 45 and 1911s.
If you don't own a 45, you're just a noob.
Oh my God! They started talking about like the Ferguson stuff, and they're like, if the cop had a 45, it would have blown his arm off, and I'm just like, oh God, literally.
Just a mere flesh wound.
I don't even know if I have my phone near me. I literally have. Here, I can. This is how bad it is at my work. I'm gonna lock my phone here, and then I will go to my gallery. This is how bad it is at my work. Literally, for on my phone here, I have the FBI ballistics gel thing on my phone just to show people, because it just gets so old of hearing 45. Literally, I worked in a gun shop for less than an hour, and I heard this. Buy a 45, you only got to shoot them once. That was less than an hour working in a gun shop. So, yeah.
Well, I set off with a 357, but. What about you, Brian? You got anything coming up?
Well, I was going to say no, but since I just opened my mouth while ago saying stuff I shouldn't have been saying, I might be out of a job. So, yeah, I might be having more videos coming up pretty soon. We'll see. You might need to take this thing down for me.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. I got 270 other videos, so that wouldn't be an issue. All right, guys. So
call from my supervisor. Don't be surprised.
You know what I'm gonna say, right?
What?
I don't habla. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't speak English.
Yeah, exactly.
Me no comprendo. So let it go. Oh man. So I definitely appreciate everybody watching. We had a bunch of guys watching. Definitely, truly appreciate it. I hope that we were able to answer some of the questions. We started talking about this sergeant, and then we went into something else and came back to something else. And I mean, that's just how it goes. But I definitely appreciate you guys watching, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen in the next month. And I guess as we hear that, we may do some videos, or I may do some videos and kind of update or give my opinion, or maybe I don't. I don't know how it's going to go. Stay tuned for the Firearm Guide channel tomorrow, because we're gonna release another debate, which I'm probably gonna I'm hope that I win, but I'm probably gonna get murdered. But I appreciate everybody's watching, and we see you guys in the next one.